Before this story begins, let me ask you something from the heart. If you've ever felt that something about modern life doesn't feel right, please like this story, and if you enjoy deep, meaningful stories, don't forget to subscribe. Sometimes the truth needs time to sink in. My name is Albert. I lived a century. 100 years of watching people rush, struggle, compete, and exhaust themselves chasing a life they barely have time to live. And after all those years, I realized something uncomfortable. Most people are living wrong, not because they are bad, not because they are lazy, but because they were taught the wrong definition of success. We are taught to measure life in achievements, in money, in status, in how busy we look. We wear stress like a badge of honor. We confuse exhaustion with importance. I did that too. For decades, I thought being constantly tired meant I was doing something meaningful. I thought a full schedule meant a full life. I thought worrying meant I was responsible. But I was wrong. I was busy, but I wasn't present. I was successful, but I wasn't peaceful. I was admired, but I wasn't connected. I lived in the future and the past, rarely in the now. Then life slowly stripped everything away from me. First my job, then my strength, then my friends, then my wife. When all the noise disappeared, I was left alone with myself for the first time. And that's when I saw the truth. I had spent most of my life preparing to live instead of actually living. I postponed joy. I delayed rest. I ignored feelings. I told myself, later. And later became never. Most people do the same. They wait for weekends to breathe. They wait for vacations to feel alive. They wait for retirement to enjoy life. But life doesn't wait. It passes quietly while you are distracted. At 100, I finally slowed down enough to notice simple things again. The sound of birds, the taste of tea, the feeling of sunlight, conversations without checking the time. And I felt more alive in those quiet moments than in all my busy years combined. I realized that most people don't need more motivation. They need more awareness. Awareness of how tense they are. Awareness of how little they rest. Awareness of how often they live inside their head instead of their body. We chase productivity but forget presence. We chase goals but forget gratitude. We chase happiness but ignore peace. Modern life teaches you how to earn money. It doesn't teach you how to be human. It doesn't teach you how to sit with sadness. It doesn't teach you how to accept uncertainty. It doesn't teach you how to let go. So people live their entire lives in mental pressure, thinking something is wrong with them, when in reality something is wrong with the system they learned from. At 100, I no longer try to improve myself. I try to understand myself. I no longer chase purpose. I notice meaning. I no longer try to fix my emotions. I allow them. And that's when peace arrived. Not loud, not dramatic, just steady. Most people are living wrong because they think life is about doing more. But life is about feeling more. Feeling your breath. Feeling your body. Feeling your emotions without judgment. You don't need to escape your life. You need to enter it. I lived a century to understand this. I hope you don't need that long. As I reach the quiet end of my story, I no longer feel the need to convince anyone. I only feel the need to be honest. Most people won't change. Not because they can't, but because they are too busy surviving the life they built. They are trapped inside routines they never questioned. They wake up tired, move through the day on autopilot, and fall asleep with a mind still racing. And they call that normal. I called it normal too for most of my life. But normal is not the same as healthy. A world where everyone is stressed is not a successful world. A life where you are always busy is not a meaningful life. A mind that never rests is not a strong mind. It is just a distracted one. I don't blame people for living wrong. They inherited a system that values speed over depth, results over feelings, appearances over truth. They were taught to perform, not to feel, to compete, not to connect, to consume, not to reflect. So they run. They run from silence. They run from stillness. They run from themselves. Because in silence, uncomfortable questions appear. Who am I without my job? Who am I without my role? Who am I when nobody is watching? It took me 100 years to face those questions, and when I finally did, I realized the answers were simple. I am a human being, not a human doing. I don't need to justify my existence with productivity. I don't need to earn the right to rest. I don't need permission to feel. I am allowed to exist without achieving anything today. That realization changed everything. Now when I sit quietly, I don't feel empty. I feel complete. I feel connected to something deeper than goals and identities. I feel connected to life itself. At this age, I don't think in years anymore. I think in moments. The moment I wake up and feel my breath. The moment I hear laughter outside. The moment I feel gratitude for being here at all. Those moments are my wealth. Not my bank account. Not my past achievements. Not my reputation. Just awareness. And awareness is something you can practice at any age. You don't need to change your whole life. You don't need to quit your job. You don't need to escape society. You only need to stop abandoning yourself. Stop ignoring your body. Stop dismissing your emotions. Stop postponing your happiness. Life is not waiting for you to be ready. It is already happening. And one day, like me, you will look back and realize that the biggest mistake was not failing, not suffering, not struggling. The biggest mistake was being absent. Absent from conversations. Absent from feelings. Absent from your own inner world. So if my century of living means anything, let it mean this. Don't live on autopilot. Don't treat time like it's unlimited. Don't sacrifice presence for performance. Because in the end, nobody regrets not working enough. They regret not being there enough. And that is why I say gently, without anger, without judgment, most people are living wrong. Not because their life is bad, but because they forgot how to truly live it.